I think a lot of people think about creativity as self-expression, but I think more fundamentally or more primarily, it's about self-discovery. Spiritual traditions, as well even as many of the modern schools of psychology, understand that human beings are multi-layered. One of the great analogies of human beings is an iceberg. When you meet someone, you may see a few things, a few attributes of them, the tip of the iceberg, as it were. You may see, you could judge, we kind of put people in categories. We see like skin color, and we guess someone's background or nationality, gender. Maybe if there's any outward identifier of religion, we'll say, oh, this is person of that religious faith, whatnot. But again, very little can actually be told by someone's surface. And I think that's why the analogy is so apt, because an iceberg, only the tip is above the water. If we're gonna look at art and creativity, again, art is this means of intentional communication. In Arabic also, the poet is a sha'ir, which is the root is someone who feels, to feel deeply. Not in the sense of like, oh, this is my feelings, not in the superficial sense we tend to think, but like to experience something extremely deeply and be altered by it and be moved by it, and then to have the ability to communicate that. The thing about poetry and music, poetry is that if I say a poem to you and you understand it, every word and every concept, but you don't feel it, it doesn't move you, then it has failed. The poem has fundamentally failed. And other forms of communication aren't necessarily like that. Like sometimes if I say, go get me the blue notebook, like you just have to logically understand it, but there's something about art that it has to rearrange the inner furniture of your soul, you could say. It has to move something, ineffable thing. You can't really teach that. It has to be something felt, sha'ir, someone who feels. And so I think to draw it back to the idea of the iceberg is that artists are those that dive deep into themselves. Maulana Rumi said, you think yourself just a drop in the ocean, but you're also the entire ocean in a drop. And we believe, you know, the spiritual traditions unanimously across time and space, whatever they may differ in, they affirm that the reality of the human being is of cosmic significance and that it's something of profound depth in reality. The way to access the inner realities or to dive deep beneath the surface, that is the spiritual path. And that's why spirituality and creativity are so woven, because to dive deep and then to be able to come up to the surface with the lu'lu' wa marjan, you know, the pearls and the coral and the treasure, and also the skeletons sometimes and the sunken ships, and to bring it to the surface for those of us who are more stuck on the surface level of what it means to be alive, then we experience the great art of the masters. They bring us down. We're able to experience what's deeper, and it draws us, and we say, we want to go deeper now. Like, take me deeper. And then it'll encourage us on. We see there's something down there. Like when I first read the poetry of Maulana Rumi, I was already a songwriter, poet, performer. I was really into language and the power of words and the spoken word and the written word. And when I read Rumi, it moved me on such a deep level. And what it was is that it wasn't that he was good with words, because I was, okay, I'm double entendre and alliteration and the subtleties and the multiple meanings. And I love that. It had a sweetness to me. I was like totally attuned to it. He had all that, but that's not what made him the most powerful poet. It was that I felt there was this spiritual reality that was just overflowing, a fountain flowing, and the words were just the spray, the mist, as it were. And I was like, okay, I want to go deeper. I want to like see what the source of this fountain is of light.